Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Rebuild 2, the only game I've ever been requested to play. The story behind that is that on my original Let's Play of Rebuild, Episode 3 was met with a lot of attention because when searching Rebuild 3 on Google, that was a result. And because people couldn't seem to put together that it was Part 3 of Rebuild 1, I received much hate mails because I could not seem to specify that it was Part 3 of Rebuild 1 and not Part 1 of Rebuild 3. You bunch of sillies, Rebuild 3 does not exist. Anyway, we're not here to tell about my life story, we are here to play Rebuild 2, hosted on Armor Games, as was the first. This is mostly a cleaned up version of Rebuild 1. It's not a sequel, it's a remake, and you'll find that it is much higher def, as this ugly mug should attest to. We shall configure our game, and note that the harsh language setting is on. This is because certain dialogue options do not appear without it being on. If you're offended by that, you may want to stop watching now. And you may want to stop watching Let's Plays to begin with, because there is no set guidelines to Let's Playing. You may find harsh language and foul words strewn about. Ooh, welcome to the internet. Let us start a game. Notice that I attempted and failed at playing this game before. I named my city Let's Play, and was slaughtered after I tried railroading through it and not paying attention to any of the other stats other than game completion. Oops-a-daisy. My name is, of course, because I'm a narcissistic person, Jalote. I am the last man alive. If you keep toggling between this, you can get yourself different images. There's no way of customizing it. Let's go with this guy. We have been in the city for so long. Yes, you can pause if you want to read this. It is generally the same setup as the last game. We want to have a... Let's go with a wrench. There's equipment in this game. I will explain that later. Let us continue. Continue. Huh. That's odd. It won't give us the option to continue. That is... Yeah. We're going to go with this guy, because he looks cool. But we're not going to name ourselves Counselor Clark, because that is slightly less cool. And it appears as if the game will not let us... Oh, now we can continue. You finally made it to Duncan, a typical city. It will be kind of tough. That is a default difficulty. We'll be sticking with that. Also notice you cannot get a large city from the get-go. You have to complete the game first before doing that. And welcome to the map screen. Like last game, we start out with 4 squares. In this game, the survivor count has been reduced. So instead of having 7 survivors per suburb, you have 2. And instead of having 7 food from every farm, you get 3. This is because the game puts more emphasis on the individual survivors instead of having multiple of them. And in fact, if you'll see here, each survivor has 5 stats. This is so that you don't need to have survivors of each type. You can just train yourself to have a well-balanced survivor, or make yourself a specialist. Or, like I do, train all your survivors to maximum stats, and then at the end of the game, you'll have super steroid or uber survivors that cannot be stopped by anything, except for possibly random events. However, we should eventually get to doing something. We may want to recruit survivors from the get-go, because last time I let myself get so few survivors that they all died. However, you may notice on my previous Let's Play, I let too many survivors in and we all starved. You want to have a careful balance, or alternatively, have a lot of farms. An all mart is important. It will give you a defensive buff. Well, it will just increase your base defense. It won't give any of your survivors a particular buff, just the idea of survivors. We shall reclaim this area at once. It takes 5 days to do so with having no building powers. However, if you have high building, you can complete it in 1 day. Speaking of which, no, we can't do that right now. We're going to want to kill zombies in the hospital, solely because we want to have the hospital. The hospital is one of the most important buildings of the game, and if you lose it, you will regret it. The hospital serves to help prevent diseases. Diseases are a random event that will kill survivors in a single turn. They'll also be able to recover from injuries faster. In this game, your characters do not die immediately after being, attacked. They may suffer from an injury instead. This will keep them out of duty for a couple days, but will not kill them. Having a hospital will reduce the time they need to wait from 3 to 2. Other than that, hospitals serve as just a passive bonus. Also, I may have skipped something, but I do believe we just encountered Gustav the Trader. He is a recurring character who will try to buy and sell items from us, as well as provide us with plot-critical devices. We will be seeing a lot of him. Yes, we have gotten another farm. Also, in this game, there are big farms, but we cannot seem to find any at the moment. Something that this game does is introduce different endings. In the previous game, there was a surreal ending which involved sealing a portal to another dimension to stop the zombies from pouring out. In this game, they don't have that. It's much more down-to-earth for a game about the undead roaming. Anyway. Oh, as you can see here, we require a level 3 builder to build defenses around the Allmart. It's another thing this game requires. Ooh, London the dog. I encountered her earlier in a previous attempt. That was actually the first time I've ever seen her. So, yes, she's a welcome return. Anyway, as I was saying, there are certain minimum requirements to becoming... Well, no, not to become anything, but to... Hold on, just a second. There's a book going around called the Zombie Condition. This will cause a side quest that may or may not screw you over completely. You're going to want to refuse this unless you're specifically going to it. Wait, no! Ugh! I accidentally allowed them to publish it. That's fine. As long as we pay attention later in the side quest, we will not die miserably. However, if we don't pay attention, we will die miserably. What the? Alright, kill zombies. He is wearing a gas mask. We shall name him Pyro, just because we can. I might not get around to naming anyone else, but I just wanted to do that because it was some idle curiosity. Oh, as I was saying, you need to have certain levels to complete certain tasks. You can't just send a whole lot of low-level builders to do so. Luckily, schools in this game, instead of changing your character to a different class, just increase your base class. Also, just by completing jobs like building or killing zombies, you get a slight boost. Not as much as, well, training, but a slight one. Also, here's the Love Caravan. This is something that bugs me to no end. Yes, we're going to want to refuse that on the grounds that I have standards. You may wonder, is this only available in the harsh language filter? And I say, no, it's not. You can find that at any point in the game, even if you have harsh language turned off. That is slightly confusing. But, more to the point, it is slightly crazy. This game has a crude sense of humor, as you can probably tell from the Motel 69 sign, returning from the previous game. Also, McNoodles. McNoodles. This game is just so whimsical. Anyway, why don't we kill some zombies in the surrounding squares? Ooh, wait, no. We're going to want to recruit survivors, because running out of survivors is the worst thing to do. Trust me, I know. It's unpleasant. Oh, there are survivors here as well. Also, by trying to recruit them, you will gain a bonus to the leader skill. Zombie cage fights. Should we do it? If we had banned the book, people will be happy if we allow them, but if we do this, they're still happy. Strange. Also, we gained 2 new survivors. Sugar and G is a very strange name. I do not know how that works. Now while we're at it, let's reclaim this area. As you saw before, the police station gives you a boost to defense. Well, this is a solid start. I say that, but now we are completely ruined by me chancing it. Or, no, jinxing us. That is exactly what I said last time I played this game, and was slaughtered summarily. We want to go to the school. This is important. Oh, it'll only take... Oh, yes. Scouting in this game takes only 1 day, and never puts you at risk. However, you cannot kill zombies by doing so. I don't think you could in the previous game either, so, yeah, ignore that last bit. What else? Well, bars and churches are important to have because they give you a happiness bonus. You want to have at least 6 of them so you'll never fall behind the threshold of 30. If you do, your survivors may start rioting if you allow your happiness to go too low. But just having the buildings will prevent that. So, yeah, that's a good idea. What's over here? Nothing but death. Death and destruction as far as the eye can see. Church, let's scout this. Let's kill things over here. And while we're at it, let's kill things over here. Yeah, that's too many survivors and not enough return. Hey, Oh, starvation. Oops. Don't worry. We can mitigate this by assigning people to tend the crops. Start, and, no, that won't help us at all. Instead, let us go quickly, and no, that's not what we want to do. That's not what we want to do. Let's find an area that we have scouted, but not yet taken. Nothing here to scavenge. Alright, there's food here that we can scavenge. Let's get a lot of people on that job, because otherwise we will starve tremendously. Tremendous repeat, dog. Well, that held us over for a day, but we still are at terrible risk. So, let us replace this with a farm. And, yes, the game is playing staticky music. I thought for a second there may be a slender man behind me, but it was not true. There is nothing behind me but the Grim Reaper. Yes, I am shaking his hand to no ill effect. I believe that does not say much about my sanity, or my ability to not die. Ooh, starvation. Not dying is something that starving people can't do. That was in terrible taste. We cannot replace this with a... We could make a bum rush for these buildings, but would we want to? Yes, we will. Because starving, I already have experience to tell you, it's very not fun. Especially in this game. I don't know about in real life. Heard starving is quite enjoyable. My dark humor is not appreciated. So many soldiers. Oh yes, the Rifts, those are the good guys. I don't know if we've seen them before, but the antagonists are the Last Judgment gang. So the Rifts, I don't know if they were in the last game. I remember there being a gang that more or less is a direct parallel to them, but the Rifts in this game are just cool biker dudes who serve no purpose but to just kill things. I do not want to give him the shotgun, no matter how starving we are. After all, we do have standards here, and... Where are we again? Duncan. Yes. No. That's a terrible name. We shall name ourselves the City of Townsville. There we go. Instant hilarity. Yes, we are the City of Townsville. And it is the 30th day, which means that hordes should start approaching. Not just normal zombie attacks, but in fact hordes. They are much larger than the regular zombie attack, and are, well, threats to everyone who even looks at them. Let us scout these areas. We're going to want to have a lot of land, and a lot of use for it. Alright, no. Well, no, we don't want to recruit the survivors just yet. We're going to want to have the farmland to begin with. Let us start by scavenging for supplies. This'll do. Also, you'll notice that we can find equipment by scavenging. I really haven't gotten around to equipping anyone. No, you cannot have our shotgun, because I want to go show off. Alright, so... No, we can't quite turn that off yet, because we haven't gotten any more food. Alright, let's give Garcia, let's say, the shotgun. It will now appear in his character screen, and that will add to his soldier mount. Now let's say Wolf Thunder. He's a wolf, so let's give him London the dog. There you go. Wolf, you are on guard duty. And you too, Garcia. You will reduce our odds of death. Quite a lot, actually. Now, let's keep ourselves tending crops, even though I'm pretty sure I just canceled that. No, I did not. Alright, now that we have a net flow of food coming our way, let us recruit survivors. We got 2 of them. just as much as we have gained in food. Now let us slaughter our way through this farm. Wow. People are taking pity on us. I don't know if I should be thrilled or insulted. We've been going for 15 minutes now, so... Oh, the Last Judgment Gang. They're mentioned right there. They are looters and thieves, going under the guise of Catholic priests. They may very well be Catholic priests. I don't know them. But I do know that I hate them, because they are evil. Let us send people out there. Let us scout this area. Yes, that sounds about right. Ooh, and a horde is approaching. Oh, and recruitment has failed. Oh well, let's just survive this one horde and see how it turns out. No one was hurt. And an illness was cured. Alright, this seems like an optimistic note to end the episode on. Until next time, this has been the first, and so far, decent episode of Let's Play Rebuild 2. Until next we meet, I bid you all farewell.